How did you find out your significant other was cheating? When I was confronted by a big dude, threatening to hit me, because he claimed his significant other was cheating on him with me. Turns out she was playing us both. Had a weird feeling, made a Tinder. Took me all of 5 minutes worth of searching before I found his profile. It was a picture of him and his dog I had taken that very same day. Always trust your gut. Not me, but my BFF found out his wife was cheating when his 3-year-old daughter asked him if they were going to see mommy's friend again the following day. Girlfriend in college decides to move off campus and get an apartment. In the normal course of dating, she talks about how expensive apartments are. Eventually she asks if I'd be cool if she had a male roommate. At the time I wasn't totally okay with it, but she addressed it maturely and I'm working full time, so I say I'm fine with it. Moving day she says she doesn't want any help. I was working, so okay. Next day I go over for the entire see the new place thing. There's 1 bedroom and 1 bed. She actually had the nerve to try to explain it away. Bonus, she called later that week to see when I intended on picking her up for our previously scheduled date. I think this one pisses me off the most. Ready to get more angry? After he left her, she tried to get back with me by telling me she had been pregnant with my child, so she cheated on me with a blue-collar guy because it was okay to mess up his future, but not mine. I still have no idea what to do with that, regardless of if it's true or not. She then found Jesus the next year, married a virgin in her last year of college, and after graduation went to something like medical school or law school. 2 years after graduation, a mutual friend is getting married. I am supposed to best man, she is supposed to be the maid of honor. Whatever, she's not my favorite person, but I have a long-term girlfriend and a decent life. She tells the bride that if I am best man, she won't be in the bridal party. Groom has a heart-to-heart with me, so I step down. Her husband can't come, I'm assuming because we are all broke-ass 22-year-olds. At the reception, I see my ex sitting in the groom's brother's lap while making out with him. She's out there, gents. She got pregnant when I was 500 miles away. You must have a huge dick. I'd suspected for a while, and she'd admitted to making out with someone else. One night she fell asleep and left her iPad unlocked with Messenger open. I still feel bad about it, but I glanced and saw a dude's name, so I started reading. Some new guy she was flirting with and making plans to fuck, along with telling him in detail about previous times she cheated on me. That was the deal breaker for all of it. I found my car at the new guy's house. She needed to borrow it for work. Someone sent me a picture of them making out at the football game I couldn't go to. We were getting intimate, and as she got naked I could easily see she had fingerprint-shaped bruises on her hips. I had been out of town for weeks, so I was just like, huh. That's that, I guess. She tried to stumble through an excuse, but there really isn't any explanation that could possibly fly on that one. This hasn't happened to me, but did happen to my best friend. I overheard/saw his girlfriend on the phone talking to someone. She was saying, "I love you, I can't wait until I marry you," etc. She saw me and her face dropped. I turned around, walked out and called my mate immediately. Turns out that she was engaged to another guy. Made for an interesting few weeks of uni after that. We shared an iCloud account. He wasn't responding to my texts, so I got on Find My iPhone to see where he was. I see he's at the park a half mile from my house. Drive to the park. Find him in his car receiving a blowjob from a lady who is not me. Came home from work to all her stuff gone from the house and a Dear John letter. When the guy she was cheating on me with, a mutual friend, came forward and told me. That's what sucked the most. She didn't have the courage to just tell me and end things. Found 3,000 plus text messages to and from another guy that spanned 2 months. Text sent 2 minutes after her morning alarm would go off. Last person at night, calls and texts in the middle of the night. When I was suspicious something was going on, I was told it was all in my head. Then I found the number and asked who it was. Was told it's no big deal and his name was John. The number was listed as Melissa in her phone. She still says she never cheated. Though there were nights of not coming home and staying out drinking until 5 a.m. Classic message from a guy she's never mentioned before popping up on her phone that she left on the coffee table and I was watching TV. Not exactly snooping or checking her phone if it's in my face as it happens. She denied anything as I casually mentioned it. Just a friend at work. Like I believe your shit. By freak chance I'm at home one day due to prepping for an interview, had the day off work naturally. She's at work. Ding. That's weird. Whatever. Ding. Okay that's. It's stopped, whatever. Ding. Right, what the hell is that? I walk into the living room. Ding. She's got her laptop on the floor. Open it, and the screen comes on as it's plugged in. WhatsApp message window in bottom right. Go to the bathroom and be a good girl, take them off for me. I sat for about 10 minutes watching the back and forth. I forgot, she then called me within an hour of me seeing these messages. I was pacing around the house in disbelief, anger, sadness etc. Then my phone goes. It's her. Hey baby, how's your prep going for the interview? I'm on my lunch break so I thought I'd give you a call and wish you good luck. Insert some crap she spews about how her day is going really busy. You okay? You seem a bit distracted or something? Yeah Tell you what, why don't you ask Tom at work how I'm doing? You know, given that you two have been talking so much today. What are you on about? Don't play dumb with me. You still wearing your panties or what? I really don't know what you're on about. I'm hanging up in 5 seconds, admit it. I saw everything, you left your laptop on. She then cracks, says it's been going on for a few weeks now, she doesn't know how to make it stop, she's new to the job and doesn't want to get in trouble, and my favorite part. I called you because I wanted to tell you about him, weeping now, how do I fix this and make it stop? Tell me what to do, I don't know what I can do. I just hung up. So full of shit. I heard a rumor and confronted him about it. He said no way it was true, so I let it go. Stupid, I know. Maybe a year later, the girl actually messaged me saying she felt guilty and that yes, it did happen. But this girl is known to be a pathological liar and a shit starter. So, I let it go again. A year after that, me and the now ex-husband were in an argument and he just started listing off the times that he had cheated on me. I was stunned. A part of me knew, but fuck, that hurt. Through Facebook text messages on our shared iPad 5 days after my dad's funeral. Turns out he was cheating with a mutual friend of ours during the 7 weeks I was caring for my dying father. The mistress had a boyfriend, too. 2 6-year relationships blown up because they couldn't keep their genitals apart long enough to break up with us. Real class acts. I went to play music from my phone in my ex's truck. Another girl's phone was saved on there. Sorry to hear that, but that's one of the more unique ways to get caught I've seen. How did you know it was like the other girl though? Not a coworker or friend he was giving a ride to maybe? It was a girl I had been suspicious of for a while. It was also a brand new vehicle at the time and my first time riding in it, which pissed me off even more that this bitch got to ride in it before me. I found that 2 girls I knew he was friends with had been mysteriously blocked on my Facebook account. I knew for a fact I would never have blocked them. I should have seen the red flag when my ex deleted his account because he didn't want potential colleges and employers to see into his personal life. I unblocked the girls, and on one of their pages, I found tons of pictures of her and my ex at different places he claimed to be at with his friends, with comments from the 2 girls saying how cute the girl and my ex were together, how her boyfriend was amazing, etc. Obviously, my ex had blocked my account as well as my closest friends. I confronted him, ended our relationship, and then I messaged the other girl. She was shocked because he had told her that he broke up with me 6 months prior, a few days before asking her out, which he never did. She didn't believe me at first, but she dumped him as well a day or so later. There were so many red flags, and he had become emotionally abusive and manipulative by that point. I don't know why I stayed as long as I did. I'm so glad to be rid of him. I was at work, trusted my ex-girlfriend to go out with my best friend, because his girlfriend wanted to hang out with her. Another friend I wasn't sure if tagged along, and I still trusted her. Anyways, they went out, and when they were done my best friend dropped my ex off, and the other friend I wasn't sure of said he had to go in her house to pee. My best friend waited in the car and he noticed he was peeing too long. He went in the house, heard her moaning, and my best friend beat the shit out of the other guy and threw him out of the house, and he made him walk home. My ex called me like 10 minutes later apologizing, saying she only made out with the guy, etc. My best friend called me right after that when I was at work, saying she was giving him a hand job and making out in her closet. I would believe my best friend over anything. He had no reason to lie, plus we were growing up in the army together, so we were pretty much attached to the hip. I was in the army at the time on guard duty, so I had to wait until 10 the next morning to even leave or do anything, and it was only like 3 in the morning. Imagine that, not being able to do anything and let your mind completely wander. Terrible times. Through text messages that I found on her MacBook, which she asked me to repair. iMessage for the win, right? She set her Facebook feed up to send her PMs to her email address. But she forgot the email was our joint account. I was at a friend's barbecue that my girlfriend didn't want to attend because she was going out with some of her girlfriends. She texted me later asking me to meet them at a bar we would occasionally hang out at. Later on I oblige her, and as I pull into a parking space I see her in the next car getting finger banged by some guy. She doesn't see me. I walk into the bar and up to the table where her friends are sitting, and upon seeing me I see they start to get very uncomfortable. I walk up and tell them it's okay, I know what's going on and that I'm just there to say farewell to her BFF because I know the ensuing fallout will not allow us to remain friends. BFF gives me a big hug and through tears says farewell. As I head back to my car they are still at it, so I knock on the window, and as they jump from the startle I give her the finger, hop in my car and drive off before she has a chance to pull her jeans up. Did she reach out to you after you left? I came home that night at 4 a.m. to find her parked in my driveway drunk and hysterical. Neighbors called the police, who allowed her dad, she was 26, to come pick her up. While she was in the back of the patrol car, her father and I had a conversation where I explained what happened and told him to explain to her how I wished no further contact. I had been offered a work contract in Afghanistan the day before, which I had planned on turning down. A year spent in a CHU was the proper medicine. During my second year of college, I was dating this girl from my hometown who I had previously dated in high school. She was 2 years younger than me, and when I moved back home during my first summer break, we reconnected. She had just graduated and wanted to attend the same college I did, which was great as I didn't want to keep driving an hour and a half to and fro every weekend to see her. I helped her with her move, assisted with school stuff to get her enrolled, and was basically as helpful as I could be since I was happy to have a girlfriend in town. We found a 2-storied house off campus that had just been renovated and was accepting tenants to occupy the rooms. We got her signed up and she got to move in fairly early, moving into a bedroom upstairs. The other people living there were both guys and girls who were also students. The guy that lived in the room directly below my girlfriend was about to have a birthday party and we were invited. During the party, we had a good time and met his friends and other roommates. One of his friends was a guy named Gus, a suave-looking biker who was a bit older than us. My girlfriend liked bikers, since her father used to be one, and they got along. As the night was progressing, she looked at me and suggested I head on home as we had class the next day and I tend to wake up early to get ready. I was hesitant as I felt it was still early, but agreed eventually. The next morning, I picked her up as I usually did and drove us to our bus stop that took us to school. The whole ride to school was eerily silent. She looked bored and every attempt at conversation by me was met with short responses. But she would glance at her phone every so often and would smile. I noticed but didn't want to suspect any wrongdoing. I still felt like shit though. At the end of the day, we go back to her place and she's still the same way. While in her room, I finally ask her what's going on and she just tells me that she thinks we should break up. Out of nowhere. I was upset and didn't argue too much. I just got my things and left. She immediately changed her relationship status to single on MySpace. This was a decade ago, and it hurt. A couple of weeks later, She announced on MySpace that she was in a relationship with Gus. Bitch. Girl I dated in college failed out and ended up in a city about 1.5 hours away from our college town. I go visit her on a random weekend. I get to her door and a dude walks out and said, "Your turn, bro." Only took a few seconds to realize what he meant. Girlfriend didn't realize her iPhone sent deleted photos to the recycling bin. Was sitting next to her when she found the folder and had to quickly scroll past some naughty pics that had never been sent to me.